it's big case, big situation, a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely tapping in, and yeah, I'm gonna be live streaming tonight as well. This is one of them cases that it just kind of teaches us a lot. Like I'm already knowing, paying attention to what was happening, like way before it got to trial. When it first happened, I was already knowing that it was gonna be a big deal. I mean, I got a store right there in Arlington, and it happened right there in Fort Worth. So I already knew that certain rules apply to certain people. And those ground thing. Because even I'm thinking like straight to it. If I'm out somewhere and there's 2-3 big guys, muscles, 6 feet, whatever, and I got a little pocket knife on me, and one of them hit me, and after they hit me, I tell them like, "Hey, this ain't what you want." I'm expecting them to, not hit me again. But the fact that they, it's just a lot. It's a lot in the story. It's a lot in the situation. 35 years is a lot. I know a lot of people, I started looking up different sentences. And there are sentences where people have done way worse, not just taking a life, but kids and child, all types of things. We don't get for 35 years, but 17, they say you got to do maybe half, So again, it's just a lot. I plan on definitely tapping in the entire night, talking about this whole Karmelo Anthony thing. Hardest part about this, though, is that he was in fear for his life. He was in fear for his life. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. He was in fear for his life, and a lot of people are in fear for their lives in different situations. And he actually had a weapon to protect himself. I always go back to the safari. I watch a lot of Nature is Metal on Instagram, and you see like a lot of hyenas. They run up on the zebras, and the zebras, they run. Some of them run. One of them always get caught, and when he get caught, he can't do anything. The hyenas just bite him first, and then once they bite him, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap for the zebra. The zebra can't do anything because the hyena bit him first. And so sometimes in the animal kingdom or just in Mother Nature, you can't wait on somebody or something to hit you. But especially after they hit you the first time, you should have the right, the authority to tell them to stop. Don't do that again. But that's again, it's a lot. We'll be talking about this all night, man. We got a couple of hours on here. I know I'm be on here all night. I got a lot of content, a lot of everything, man.
Let me give you some evidence. From the police officer, Miss Bolton told me to read this. She's a police. She said, I will testify there's a photo circulating that showed the judge with the district attorney and the parents of the deceased. They were all there. When the DAs and district attorney started going to the thing, they had already went to the boy funeral. So they was already concluded right there. Karmelo weighs 120 pounds. The brothers who jumped him and put him weighed 200 pounds. Marcus, that's 80 pounds on each.
Look. Before you go to the weight, right? Let's go to the DA, the relationship. The DA definitely had a relationship with the father of the Caps. They were in photos. Yeah, they were in photos way prior to the trial. Knew each other. It's definitely in community. Politics is involved, man. Politics is involved in community, and they, I'm sure, put donations to his campaign. And again, they knew each other. So he went to every day of the trial. Most of the time, DAs are too busy to focus on one trial, but he had time, the authority to just focus on that one trial the entire time. And so, of course, it was some type of connection. He even said he wanted to make sure. I mean, he was at the trial, and then right after they had a press conference, so right there with the family. So and it wasn't a lawyer that represented them, not the prosecutor, but it was a press conference with the DA. So and that was on Fox 2 News for Dallas Fort Worth.
Marcus, it's not a knife. It's stupid, y'all. It's not a knife. Let me tell you what it is. The lady said that she seen it from a fear for his life. He was in imminent danger for the use of force of just unjustified or for people. That wasn't a knife. It was a tool for the repair police. I want y'all to look right here.
Look, Johnny. I saw they were saying that in the beginning when it first happened, about a year or so ago. And a lot of people don't know this too, Johnny. Right when this Karmelo Anthony stabbing happened at the track meet, Karmelo Anthony, the basketball player, was being inducted into the Hall of Fame at the exact same time. When you go back and look, Karmelo Anthony, the ball player, was being inducted into the Hall of Fame when Karmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf. Now, I don't know if that's some type of connection, but when I was like, man, this is time. And I'm looking at the different Karmelo names, both of them popping up at that time because, again, the basketball player was inducted, and that was a big highlight on Instagram, that on social media, on Google. That was like in the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? So at the same time, you start looking into the young Karmelo Anthony and the stabbing. But on top of that, man, to get to the weight, the size, come on, man. Size matters. Size matters. You know how many people I see get knocked out growing up? Waiting on something. I'm talking about just waiting, like letting somebody hit them. My mama used to tell me, hey, if somebody hits you, hit them back. But when I got to certain environments and, you know, you in certain parts of the world, I was in the military, right? You can't wait on somebody to hit you and then hit them back. If you wait, that could be your life. That could be the end. Sometimes you got to strike first in order to. That's what survival is. But again, there's laws, there's regulations, there's rules, there's code of conducts, there's all type of things, and they're there for reasons. But at the same time, when it comes to survival, sometimes you break those things. If not, you end up being a victim. At the end. Go ahead, Jonah, what you got, man? I know you got a bunch of stuff, man.
It was called a creek. It was repair creeks. Here's a little picture, right? It's not right. It's a creek sharpener to repair creeks. According to the testimony, it was 3.5 inches. A chain of biggie was necessary for Karmelo for a fair trial because he could not get a fair trial there. The request for mistrial, there is the incurable error and misconduct by the district attorney on 3 main sites with being with the family, no family, trading money and donating to the family. Unfounded for basic claims for good personal tax and baseline claims. This case needs significant media attention, and the error is legally incurable that the most significant that is at the heart of the process. They all know each other.
Look. Of course they all know each other. It's a small county. It's a small town. You know, everybody knows each other. Again, that's why you didn't see anybody that looked like you on the jury. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of us in that county. That's a well-off county. That's they got a lot of bread. You know what I'm talking about? And it's kind of like Katy. Think about Katy, Texas, right? You think about Katy, Texas. I mean, I don't know if Katy had a judge and jury and all that other stuff. You may not get the best of the, you know what I'm saying, the results that you're looking for in a court of law. Who knows? But again, in that specific location, even during the trial, before the trial, they were saying that it may have been a knife. They said it was a 5-inch knife. It was a 3-inch blade. Now, whether it's a knife or a blade or whatever, sometimes when somebody bigger than you, you're supposed to pick up something and knock the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying? If not, they look one punch, man. And they said a soft shove. I don't know what a soft shove is. I ain't never had somebody softly push me. You know what I'm saying? If you softly push me, though, it's still disrespectful. If you softly push me, it's still disrespectful, man. Why are you putting your hands on me, bro? Why are you a soft shove from a 6'2", 220-pound man is not a soft shove like you think it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not a soft shove. Man, I don't know. You're not supposed to put your hands on people, man. Now, if you do, again, I'm one of the ones, right? I didn't put my hands on a lot of people. But I'm normally, it's not a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like different things, different times. But I'm saying right now, in this situation, I definitely don't think that you should be waiting all the time on someone to put hands on you first. And that's definitely what he did. He allowed that, and then he warned them. And then I'm saying them because it was more than one. That's crazy.
Robert James.
And he's saying, he said unbelievable. But then he's saying that the man was told that Karmelo was believing it, but he was told by nobody leaving authority.
I ran track, man. Yeah, I ran track. You know, again, when you run track, you out under the bleachers, you in the tents, you all stuff, especially when it's raining. Sometimes in Houston, the rain just come out of nowhere. And when it comes out of nowhere, you might not have time to run in your tent. You might go run to the nearest tent. And if I run to the nearest tent, the last thing I'm expecting is for somebody with other uniforms on to come over there and tell me, hey, bro, I know it's raining 100% right now, a thunderstorm, and there's a flood coming in, a thunderstorm coming in, but 100% chance of rain, but you need to go find your tent right now. Man, you're not going to make me go run in the rain. Who is you? Who is you, bro? That ain't how this works. And that wouldn't work. It's not even about color. It's just about being a human being. The dude name was Edwin. It was Edwin. They said a little kid named Eddie that knew him. He sat down. He shook hands with him. They were chopping it up. He was in the tent for about 5 minutes prior to the Metcalfs actually coming to the tent. They said the Metcalfs, one of the Metcalfs, either Austin or Hunter, had to walk up like 4 or 5 different bleacher steps to get to him. You know how afraid I would be if I'm sitting down minding my business and I see a 220-pound dude making eye contact with me, 2 of them, walking up 5 bleacher steps to come approach me to say something, like with muscles and stuff. Like, I'm like, what I do? You know what I'm saying? What's up? But I'm definitely not going to stay sitting down. He stayed sitting down. He stayed sitting down. They hovered over him. Again, I think they left a lot in the trial. They left a lot on the table. The judge probably should have put him on the stand. I definitely would have wanted to be on the stand. If I'm fighting for my life, this is one thing I learned being in the court system right now, Johnny, because, you know, I'm in the system right now. I'm going through some court battles right now personally. And one thing I've learned is that sometimes you don't want to put your life in somebody else's hands and have other people speak for you. I'm talking about, man, because nobody knows your business like you know your business. So when I'm going to court, I got to wait on the lawyers to speak my point in the business when I know my business better than anybody else. They might not remember something I told them to say. They may not remember a significant detail. And so the witnesses may not remember a significant thing. So put me on the stand, man. Let me fight for myself. Let me plead my case, because everybody else are just talking. I want to plead my case. And I don't think that young man got a chance to plead his case, man. They definitely should have put him on the stand.
There's no way he should have been on that witness stand. No way. Dougie Fresh on the citizen stand for me for 2 days. It wasn't his case. He went up to testify for what he knew about me and the music company down in production. 2 days, Dougie Fresh at 21 years old, 1987. So that young boy, Doug was 21. So that young boy, and Doug did take him on the stand. I don't be on this show now. I got life no parole. Thank you, Dougie Fresh. So again, what I'm saying to you, I agree with you, Mom. He should have went spoke for himself. He should have pleaded his own case. And I don't understand why the lawyer didn't put him up there.
Well, I don't understand the lawyer.
I don't understand why he didn't change venue in that little racing town. Everybody know everybody. And you got pictures where all of us are together at the funeral. So you already know that's going to be a good spot. Why don't you stay there? You should have tried to move that case. They gave y'all $600,000. Why y'all didn't move the case? Why you left the case like that? Come on, man. There ain't no damn jury, no people. Look, and I don't want to see nobody alive. But it's got to be a fair trial. You ain't get no fair trial to this other boy. They run this child down 14 years old. That's some taking trips to the slow one. And when they find him, Mark, the boy had nothing. And unalive him in the back. And the little boy, 14 years old, and they let it go. He didn't go 30. He didn't get no 5 days. And he had a gun. Come on, man. Come on. No.
You brought up the knife. You brought up the knife, man. I was going to the store the other day, right? Going through a convenience store, and when I walked in, this little Mexican dude, he held the door open for me. You know what I'm saying? But when he held it open, he kind of like held it open, it kind of shut on me and stuff. So when it shut on me, I turned and looked at him. I was looking a little bit, like, oh man, you kind of hit me with the door, but you know, you held it, but not really. But I wasn't nothing. But I was like, man, messed up. You know what I'm saying? But I kept it moving. But I was gonna keep it moving anyway. But as I kept it moving, I noticed he had a knife on his waistband, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the equalizer right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the equalizer right there. No matter what size it is that you hit the door with, you hit with the door. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you better keep it moving, school. You better keep it moving, bro. Essay, Holmes, sir, ma'am, madam. because again, everybody not playing. Everybody don't have hand-to-hand combat. Everybody don't know UFC, but everybody not gonna let you touch them and push them around, whether it's soft or hard or medium or any of that. So yeah, I mean, definitely, I've definitely learned my lesson in life. You know what I'm saying? Where you definitely want to keep your hands to yourself, but at the same time, you definitely want to defend yourself or have the ability to defend yourself. That's what made this case so 50-50 and so controversial, because everybody had a heart for each individual. These are kids, you know what I'm saying? These are kids that were at a track meet. I definitely don't want to see kids in middle school or high school respond to knives, because I wouldn't even be here if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of fights growing up. You know what I'm saying? If every time I, you know what I'm saying, got the fisticuff, somebody whipped out a knife and chopped me up, I wouldn't even be here. You know, so I hope I knew that a lesson was gonna have to be made. I just think that 35 years definitely is excessive, because again, you don't want to see grade schoolers showing up with butter knives that they didn't brought from home, and you know, they, instead of them, you know, taking the L or pushing back or going to tell the teacher or anything like that, they pulling out the butter knife, trying to, you know what I'm saying, chop up the school bullies and stuff. So it's a lot in this case. Again, I'm a leader, so I'm gonna always look at it from both sides. I definitely don't think that young man deserved what he got, though, because it was definitely in for his life. They could have talked more. They could have defended him more. And I think he even has a chance to appeal. You know, so there's always a chance to appeal. You know what I'm saying? There's always another chance, another jury. I don't know exactly how the appeal process goes, but somebody asked earlier, they was like, would you rather, you know, be a judge? And I think what they did was good for the young man. Doing a trial by judge, it was a trial by jury. And, you know, maybe this jury looked at it one way, maybe the appeal jury, if it is changed up, will look at it totally different. So who knows?
Well, the appeal court is 3 judges gonna look at it in the circuit court. So they understand, so it takes the real lawyer who was gonna file the brief, he had to put case law in there and prove his case and send it to him and give him case law, at least 2 or 3 case law. If he give him case law and show that it shouldn't even be tried there, it was conflict of interest, and then show where it goes in the field with knife. It wasn't no knife, not the knife line. So again, that's all need to be in that brief. And I'm gonna say this to the family, so the family can get a real appeal lawyer. They can't get to anybody. They guess with over 20 years of experience that know how to write a appeal in this specific case.
It's a lot going on, man. Well, yeah, I got you on the appeal. Yeah, I got you. You know, again, I know a lot of people be waiting on those appeals or praying for those appeals and getting those appeals. And, you know, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Again, it's about putting your life in the hands of other people. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like that at all.
Yeah, again, I agree with you, me neither. I've been to appeal courts. I had 40 at 18, so I've been, from police officer I've never seen on the tank. So what I'm saying to you, it has to be a lawyer. I'm talking to the family now. Mother, I heard you crying out. Let me cry for you now. Please don't pay no law. My number on here, 281-896-8215. Let me help you. I've been in the system for 40 years. We need to pick a lawyer that has specific expertise in this sport. You just can't take a lawyer because he got a big name. That means nothing. You need a lawyer that can write. Yeah, can write. But she's not a lawyer, but she's going to law school. But you need somebody that can write and fan case law. To give circuit court 3 judges, where you can give them so they can read something to show that this part life is there. And then they should move it out of there because it's a racist little city. Everybody knows about it. And they were just filming, so you don't know that's going to be a good song. They took pictures together, everything. When they were together, all that. But then there's nobody going to get no justice. And they keep on acting like he said did that. They were pulling him. And they put their hand on, they didn't just do no push. It was way more than that.
I just looked it up. It says that in the United States, most criminal appeals are not successful. You know what I'm saying? General estimates across state and federal courts, it'll be like 80 to 90% of criminal convictions are affirmed. So that means it's going to be upheld. You know, so about 10% to 20% result in some type of form of relief, whether it's like a sentencing, a partial reversal, or anything like that. But it's never like, so again, but something's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? So a new trial, new sentencing hearing, something, a correction of legal error. I know a lot of evidence probably wasn't represented. I'm shocked that it wasn't a lot of, you know, that they had some type of fuzzy video they was talking about. Like I figured, you know, technology. I think when you think about this, think about Ahmaud Arbery. I remember anything like I feel like it was during COVID when Ahmaud Arbery got killed in Atlanta, and during that time, it was a lot of evidence that was hidden. You know, you had to like really pay attention and find like, man, they was up some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I almost feel like in some of these situations, you always got to reinvestigate the investigators. You got to really dive into the people that dove in, because you can't really trust what they say or what she or what he's saying, because again, you never know whose side anybody's on, man, who's been paid off or who has any type of relationships. And it's a crazy world. We had to think that Ahmaud Arbery was convicted of some type of crime and doing these injustices, when at the same time they chased this man down, ran him down with trucks, shot him up, all video, and then tried to cover it up and keep those people out of jail. And luckily, I don't know, I think the video came out because the dude that came out with it wasn't really, he didn't have it all there. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember everything, but I do remember justice was served. And I don't know if justice was served in this situation right here.
No, I just said we keep saying that, you know, we want to control our own destiny and steer our own path, and I know that's the human thing to do. But you know what I'm getting ready to say? You don't have to trust that God's will is going to prevail in our faith, and that's what it's going to require for the mom to get through. So you are in my prayers. I heard the screams outside the courtyard. Outside the courthouse. You know, the family is definitely in my prayers for healing and protection. Keep alive, because our justice system is what you can pay for. It's what you can afford to do.
Yeah, TikTok, this is Mark Miles speaking. And
yes.
Well, I ain't tell TikTok Georgia. So again, that's who was speaking, Mark. I'm happy to have him speaking, and the captain, the CEO of the company down with me. What I was trying to tell Mark is, mother, please, you have to get a field on you, not a big name, a big, but they specialize in a field. All lawyers don't specialize in the field. So you got to get a field lawyer over 20 years of experience and then have this kind of case and know what a case law is. Okay? Because if you don't, you can spend $30,000 to $50,000 on the field and the lawyer throws some junk in there, it ain't nothing gonna happen. You go to Supreme Court.
Hold on, stop right there. Now look, hold on. Now stop right there. Look, you just said, Johnny, you just said throw 50,000.
So we have to move expeditiously and make sure we get
it's a lot of money.
Put the right stuff to the judges and show them Supreme case law that's been overturned. Case law. That's how you do it. So please listen to me. I've been through this 40 years. So please listen to me. Down about Google me. I've been through this law system. I done worked with 22 lawyers. Me and Gary won the first handicap in Conroe. I called it food down. They came down on the first handicap. Me and Ray got a life sentence off within 7 days without investigating. He got a life at Friday. 7 days later, ran off of we had 2 capital murder cases. So I know what I'm talking about. We won 30 felony cases in 35 days. My track record is understandable. And I had 40 years. Did 10 come out and beat the 25. I had 18, did 3 come out and got a full point. On that phone, unaligned with a police officer I never seen. 14 days later, I was out. So this ain't no talk. This is what I experienced, and God gave me experience. I'm a live mother. Please to somebody who's been there and done that. This ain't no sympathy, it's empathy. I'm trying to tell you what I know. Please don't hire no lawyer you talk to me. Let me help you find the right lawyer. I don't want nothing, but I do need you to get the right lawyer so we get your child back.
Hey, look.
Don't let them hype the hell with that.
Look, Johnny.
Be factual and actual.
Look, Johnny.
Thank you, mother. We love you, and we know you're ready, and nobody feel what you feel. Because you can. May God bless you.
Hey, look, Johnny, check this out, man. The things that he can appeal, the arguments that he can appeal with, is so the jury selection. Everybody know, like, it was not a jury of his peers. We all know these ain't a jury that he played basketball with, that he hopscotch with, he shot marbles with, he made Kool-Aid with. You know what I'm saying? He went to church with. This is not a jury of his peers. You always want a jury of your peers, man. It was definitely not a jury of his peers. We all know that. Okay, that's one strength for the appeal, right? And then you got the rulings made by the trial judge. It was like the jury instructions, how like self-defense is lesser included than offenses that were really represented. The procedures, like the whole procedures, are preserved. Everything that was preserved as the records, the videos, testimonies, everything wasn't a part of the trial. I think they left a lot of things out. But again, once he filed a notice of appeal, man, hopefully he wins it and gets the new justice. Get something totally different. 35 years is a lot, but when I heard that, hey, you only got to do half. I'm like, man, okay, cool. You know, about 30-something, get out about 37 years old, muscles and stuff, you know what I'm saying, abs, you know what I'm saying, have a family, but at the same time, I still put myself in those situations where I'm like, man, that's not, I thought you told us to, defend ourselves. America says defend yourself. They put us in uniform and tell us to defend ourselves. If somebody hit America first, they not finna do something other than hit back. In America, sometimes hit first. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they gonna strike first. So when somebody comes and strike us in the form of like 9/11, in New York, when they hit the Twin Towers, Trade Centers, when they hit us, we definitely responded back with force. And we're doing it now with Iran. We're doing it right now. That's what you told us. I thought it was what we're supposed to do. I thought we was in America. I thought USA. US, I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? Well, hey,
We don't have that privilege.
Now, the other piece is it got to be a law. It got to be a law in place for, when it's not a jury of your peers. You know what I'm saying? It got to be something that says, like, man, you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? That can't be legal. That can't be the right thing to do. Because who do you talk to? We saw it. He saw it. I'm sure when he walked in the court, he was like, man, this is not. I know that phrase because I've heard it before. I thought it was supposed to be a jury of your peers. Is that right?
Yes, it's supposed to be, but that argument came up when Puffy was on trial too. Because they were like, who would his peers be? Would it be economically his peers? Or just the racial makeup of his peers? So that was the argument I remember going on back then when his jury was.
So what it says legally it means a jury selected from a fair cross section of the community where the trial is held. So I guess that means if you're not affluent, you don't get affluent people on the jury or something. Or, I don't understand. But the phrase "jury of your peers" is often misunderstood. Though I guess that's just a make-believe phrase. But the legal, exactly what I just said. Jurors are excluded.
They come to us, you 1,000. Over 80% of the people in Harris County have not had a jury in the field. This scam and tell them to go skip 70, 80, 90 years. So they take the probation, take the 20 years, 10 years, 18 years, because they're scared to death. But it's conflict of interest. I want you to go there and Google that. It's a conflict of interest to stay in that state. That little state with 7,000, 8,000 people in it. It is that many. It's a conflict. They have to move it out. I don't know what's wrong with these lawyers. They have $600,000 in their back pocket. I don't understand why they didn't move it out of there. You can't stay there. You gotta go to the big city where you get a jury selection. And over there, they love that the white boy, the mom and daddy. So the brother ain't have a chance. That's a confident method.
You're right about it.
I know what I'm talking about, man. I'm not in no emotion, I'm in devotion. I'm speaking factual action. And I hope Mother see the state when they go out. We need to get it to her. Because she needs to hear some facts. Not that emotional foolery. She needs to hear some facts so we can get the right volume. Or we can get a child back in 3 to 5 years. That's what we need to do. Move quickly and get the right appeal lawyer, know what he's doing. Not somebody trying to hustle out some money.
Hey, you know what though? Go ahead, Kat. What you got?
No, I'm saying, people took, the community, us, took action with Mr. Child, and that verdict came down for the underlying asylums. And to move forward, to have some type of action, what would you recommend that the Black community do? Or anyone that's interested in being an ally? What form of action do we take in this matter?
Talking about the side that they chase back to school.
For me,
and unalive them in the back, and the little boys 14 years old, and they had nothing. They say you ain't supposed to chase nobody out the store. It was illegal for them to even do what they did. And then he said his life. He took the woman and in line, hiding his head from Marcy. You in the field of your life, and somebody running away from you, not to you. Try again. Away from you, not to you. So TikTok, how can he be in the field of his life? We talking about the 14-year-old boy that got on the lap. Okay, the 3 people ran out, the whole family ran out, and hit the boy in the back with a gun. And he's on the lap. 14 years old. What's in the store worth his life? Tell me some bubble gum. Some 12, what? Some potato chips? Come on, Mom.
man. So when it comes to the Mr. Child situation, I saw that he had already roughed up or shot a couple of customers in the past. So I've already known Mr. Child don't play that. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Child known in the community. He ain't come in with all that there. So to be harassed in the store, that whole hurry up and buy mentality, which is what my man was experiencing at a young age. We thought we were done with all that. He was in there, put his hands on a couple of bottles of water. Now, Kat just asked, like, what can we take away? What can we learn? The first thing that came to mind, Kat, was, just leave the weapons at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from the knives, the nunchucks, the whatever, the mace, whatever it is you have. And just definitely if you're going to school. If you're going to school, you're going on the campus, leave those things at the crib. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Cyrus' situation, this young man is shopping. He's shopping. And y'all thought he had a bottle of water, and he didn't. And you accuse him of having a thievery. Again, that whole hurry up and buy mentality. So he ran out. And I think when he didn't even run out. He walked out. He was out. He was free. He was gone. He was a young man walking by himself, a young kid walking by himself. And when he turned around, he saw 2 grown adults chasing him. So scratch the whole store thing. Let's just say some kid just walking down the street, and then 2 grown adults just start chasing him. Everybody gonna be like, hey man, what's going on? And this young man is running for his life because he ran about his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Dropped all type of stuff on the way, and then get shot in the back. Yeah, man, Mr. Child's supposed to be locked up. We all know, we all read the story, we all paid attention to the trial. Again, it's a horrible situation. Witnesses hit the stand. I watched the closing arguments from Mr. Child's lawyer, though. Amazing. I don't know if y'all seen the closing arguments. That's the type of lawyer you want on your team. You know what I'm saying? Go watch Mr. Child's lawyer's closing arguments and what he talks about with the suit and the signatures and how he ties it all into the story and into the defense of Mr. Child. It's amazing. But again, when you income matters. Mr. Child got money. They're gonna get the lawyers, best lawyers money can buy. Johnny, you just said something about, yeah, you can get a lawyer, throw 50,000 here. Man, nobody got no $50,000 to be throwing out no lawyer, man. Nobody, man. Even the rich people have $50,000 to be throwing at lawyers, man. Like nobody. That's a lot of bread. And again, any money to give to someone to speak for you, you give us. It's just I don't understand, man. So again, back to Karmelo, man. I just read that Karmelo, you know, they moved from Baton Rouge, so I'm more than positive. His mom and dad, you know, probably lived in a certain neighborhoods, environment, city, states, and wanted to provide a better life to their kids, to their children, and they did what they were supposed to do. They made the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? They even raised their son to not let nobody bully him. That's the type of son you want to raise. Man, don't let nobody tell you this is my cornbread. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's my cornbread. Mama trying to take your bike. Somebody trying to take your bicycle. My mama said, don't let nobody ride a bike. You know what I'm saying? Like, you letting boys ride your bike. My mama said, you know, you got big dudes trying to take your bike, and you got to wait on the big dude come push you off the bike. When you get back up, you say, hey, man, do it again. And then they go to do it again. You supposed to. It's just I can always draw back to the upbringing and how we grew up. Karmelo Anthony even had epilepsy. I used to have seizures. I don't know if y'all know what epilepsy is. You know what I'm saying? I used to have seizures when I was in elementary. I had seizures all through my elementary career up until 5th grade. And so I didn't even go to my 5th grade graduation. I was in the hospital while I was graduating, walk across stage and stuff. My classmates came to see me while I was at the hospital, came to see me like, hey, bye, Marcus, I ain't see you at the graduation, but, you know, we just want to say have a good summer while I'm in the hospital, right? Because of epilepsy, you have seizures, you land and you shaking and so that happens again, recurring when somebody hits you upside your head. Somebody knock you upside your head if you already have, and again, some people that have seizures or epilepsy, they already know like, man, okay, I can't bang my head here or there. If I do, I'm out of there. I'm not gonna get a knot like other people. Some people just go get a little knot. You can put a little ice on there. People that have epilepsy and seizures, they're gonna be straight. It's gonna be out of. They're gonna be super out. So seeing that this young man has epilepsy, you know, his mom, you know, a nurse, stay-at-home mom, dad, a finance manager, whatever it is they do, man, whatever the careers were, they made the right decisions. They're living the American dream. They're raising a kid that's busy after school, that's running track, that's active at the school, that's a captain. That's the type of young man that's the type of young man you want to raise. And again, this man sat here and was not wanting to be pushed around by people that were particularly known in the neighborhood for pushing people around. I don't know.
Yeah, they were. Do you remember when the story first broke? Everybody was saying that they had a history of bullying people. That's something known. That was something known.
I can't speak too much right now, but the evidence I've been looking at and with the law you did, and they raised $600,000. I love your mother, but I don't know your lawyer name, but something wrong because this was an argument, and I don't understand why they put the fund on the witness stand. No matter what they try to do to him, he had to take it. Because the boy life is in fear where he can tell the bully. His side of the story ain't been told. Like Mark said, Mark was pleading my own case. Because I'm pleading my case, I'm taking what he said. Ain't no, I love the lawyer, but I'm going. I can talk for me. I know what happened. Can't no DA do nothing with me. Talk, examine, flip it, do a check, flip my.
I'm gonna get up there and tell the truth. Look, man, hey, man, this dude was big. You know, they went up 5 flights of stairs. You know what I'm saying? They told me to move 15 times. I told them, I sat there and let them tell me 15 times to move. And I told them, don't touch me again. I was afraid for my life. You know, it was a bunch of them. They all had muscles. They looked like they were athletic. And I heard that they've been knocking boys out with one punch. And so when I allowed him to push me one time, man, I can't believe they said soft push. I can't get over that. I don't know what a soft push is from a 6'2" man. What is a soft push?
Let me sample the case. And you let
That's crazy.
And I'm thinking about how sorry this defense attorney had to really be. If this y'all didn't figure out this boy has epilepsy, he was protecting himself. That's another reason because he can't take a look. What I'm sitting. The defense attorney couldn't say he was seated. They had to come to him, which shows them as the aggressor. I am so confused. I do know what I do. I know what my call to action. What I would like the y'all to do is go to the Bar Association page and file a complaint against his defense attorney and that damn DA for misconduct. You don't have to come after their livelihood. You have to come after their reputation. I know we want to mobilize and do things. I'm proud of us for the grassroots efforts that we taken to black out shopping Asian in our communities. I don't know what the end goal is, but I'm proud of the effort and the movement. But as far as Karmelo Anthony, that's a whole different situation where you want to deal with just systemic corruption in general. And you just don't have to play within that system to get it out. But if I had a call to action to make, that's what the hell it would be. I'm coming after your line.
You only get the ball out the ball. Hold the ball, you got to strike the level. You just know all the balls on. So, Marcus, that's what's going on. It's a double standard. It's been a double standard. And here go a man talking about he's a serious life, and the brother running and walking away from him. And he don't get 1 day, he don't get 35 days of this. But here go a man that's been hit, 4 of them bigger than him, he weigh 120 pounds. They own him. And it wasn't a knife, it was a cleat thing. Yeah, it was cleats that he had for them. And they keep pushing it. And the lawyers, I don't know who she hired. I know she used to this here. And I wasn't in it, but I'm in it now. Mother, please don't have to feel like she get to big me. I feel my respect for this thing. I'm not a tech lawyer. If you don't pick the right lawyer, you're going to have to fight. You're wasting $35,000, $50,000. They're going to crack it, go play golf, go lay down, give a damn whether they win the $50,000. That ain't the kind of lawyer you want. I told my partner, I ain't gonna call his name. He gave his lawyer $500,000. This rat lawyer that I made. I ain't gonna call his name. I told him, and then we got a job. My ex-lawyer told me, they ain't gonna problem. Just come to you and shut up. Then I gave him $500,000, and then his wife gave him $1 million to the same lawyer. The wife got 15. The husband got $1,500,000 on a new case. Also, people, he said, "Oh man."
What we need is conflict resolution, Kat. I keep thinking about your question, right? Like, what are some call to actions, right? Again, just conflict resolution from both sides. So from Austin, you know, the Metcalfs, they wanted to get somebody from under their tent that could potentially be, you know, doing something that they didn't want or like, especially being the captains of the tent, whatever, right? They're in charge of captain of the tent. Okay. The conflict resolution still doesn't mean you can put your hands on the other athletes or the students or the kids or whoever's under the tent. So that's the beginning of where the problem starts. And I think that's what the call to action is. It's the conflict resolution, because even after Karmelo was, you know, pushed hard, soft, medium, whatever it is they want to say, you know, I understand. You're in fear for your life. You go grab something, be like, hey man, like what? Don't do that again. Clearly, it wasn't a soft push, because if it was, man, nobody again. It's not gonna be like a, hey man, go that way. There's not even like it. Nobody's a soft pusher. But again, the conflict resolution, it should have been better communication from both sides of the words, and not physical, not violence, not.
He should have never escalated to that point.
Not
He
escalation.
was such a threat being under that tent. He should have went and got coach and said, "Coach, there's somebody under our tent we need to have removed." If that's how it should have escalated, you should have went and told somebody. not take matters into your own.
When you're a bully, I've been teaching on bullying since 2012 with my hip hop church, Pastor Steve Jackson, First Dawn Church in America. Well, thank you, Brandon, for my mission. When you're a bully, when people bully you, you scared.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a group, Marcus. I'm 5'6". I was 6 feet at the time. In the 7th grade. Big old dude, 6'2". Dude kicked, but he slapped me. I mean, slapped my mouth. I ain't never been slapped like that. So they had about 4 dudes with him. You know, I'm gonna book me. If it's been myself, we're gonna just book me some more. Because I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. So I said, big man, listen. Don't you ever go on my sister here. Me and his sister, we ain't dating yet. Just talking. He slapped my mouth out. I run. I take out running. You don't know what I'm running for. I run all the way home to Clover Lane. I run that 3 miles non-stop. I ain't gonna run that for. I can't. You know what I got. I want to understand. I got that thing. We're back running. The same speed. I ain't never been that bad in my life. A whole mouth. He slapped my mouth for the next week. I mean, boom. I'm running back. I got tired on the way back. I stopped for me. I waited about a minute or 2. Took off running again. I couldn't run so Mark because I had never been slapped. I'm running. I got that thing in my back, Mark. I ain't never shot one, Marcus, but I got it. I'm running. Boy, when I get that Marcus, I'm looking. Wait a minute. Everybody, bring him down. I'm looking. I grabbed, boy, I gotta do something to somebody. Where you at? This boy ain't did nothing to nobody. Then he went this way. Marcus, I had to do something to somebody. Marcus, I went to school for 30 days. Look at him. He left the whole city. He didn't come back, Marcus. They told him, said, you know who you slapped? You slapped out of line. Marcus, I looked for him. I couldn't even read. I couldn't go to school. Then they called me. I went outside looking. Marcus, that nigga slapped to another one. My mom, yeah, hell of a hair, man. You should have been a box. My box was swollen, Mark.
Man.
What happened to your mouth? I said, don't worry about it. Well, I said, don't worry about it. I got it. You already knew it. I said, fuck, don't you worry about this. I got this in it. But whenever I catch it, I was going to laugh at him.
Look, bro.
I'm so glad that God moved him on. I don't know where he been, but I'm glad God moved him on. I will be here. I'm going to be here.
Look, that's why I be telling people, Johnny, that story right there, right again. Man, you don't want to let everybody get one. You know, in the hood, they be like, man, get you one, man. Get you one. You don't want everybody to get you one, man. Some of these boys get them one, man. You sleep. You are not out of this one hitter quitters. There are people in different communities that are known for one hitter quitters. So that push, that little soft push, that's equivalent to a one hitter quitter. It's like he decided to softly push you this time. But any type of touch, I think, should be responded with accordingly. Like, don't touch it. Like, you seen somebody touch somebody, like trying to push them around, they like, get your karate chop. You know what I'm saying? Karate, man, get your hands off me. It's all type of ways to respond to different situations. But again, that's probably something that I would have done immediately with that soft push. Like, but sometimes when they bigger than you, you don't even want to do that little chop. That's how afraid he was. That's what I would have said in the defense. You know how afraid I am? You know how afraid you got to be for somebody to like kind of softly push you that you know you don't want touching you and you still don't do the karate chop? You know what I'm saying? That's a reflex for human beings. It's like, man, get your hands off me, man. Who is you? It could be security. It could be the pastor talking about sit down, you can't leave the church right now. It could be anybody. You're like, hey, man, get your hands off me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going this way. And so the fact that Karmelo didn't do that lets you know he was really, truly afraid for his life. I don't even want to karate chop my man. Look, whatever the push was, it's like, damn. Oh, hey, man, hey, you big enough for me to tell you, don't do that again. Don't do that again. I'm not going to let you. The next thing, I can tell by the look of your eyes that the next time you touch me or swing, it's gonna hurt. And I want you to know, don't do it. I don't want any trouble. That's what Mr. Child be saying when they slapping their knees and shit. I don't want any trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. You know, touch me again and see what happens. That's equivalent to I don't want any trouble. It's the same thing. Different communities go warn you in different ways. Like, hey, it's about to go up. You know what I'm saying? What the Cowboys, yeehaw. I don't know what sound they make when it's about to go down, but it's a warning. It's like a, hey, don't do that. Yeehaw, you do that again. I think yeehaw means I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do something to you. But we all got different warnings and stuff, man. And it's crazy that even after the warnings, they still touch me, man. I can't get over that part.
The yeehaw is getting me. I'm sorry. Thank you.
I love you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not laughing about the brother being all right. That's what I'm trying to do. We doing on TikTok. Marcus is a comedian also, and he was just explaining the way he was explaining, showing people the salt and the punch. But the real thing is, the boy was with it. He was feeling his life. And he acted, he didn't know that thing was going to be that. He was just trying to get it off of it. He didn't know he was going live. But again, we hope that this tape makes it. Catherine, we're going to find the mother Facebook, on Instagram, and send this to her.
Yeah, we know who the pastor is, so we can work that.
If we need to get it to the pastor, I need to talk to her. On Zoom, I invite her, whatever she needs. I need to help find the right appeal login. Because if you don't, you just give them a bunch of money away. It ain't nothing gonna happen. You want the best, like Marlon said, we lose over 80% of the cases. Maybe 15 to 20% more, but you have to have a case file. That is so important. And my other family, when your child life and took your mother, you can appeal that. You can appeal it. And we help you do the same thing. So again, this is what we're doing. This show is not my show, it's God's show. And we are here for solution. We're solution based. That's what we do. We try to give you a solution so you can have a base, you can have joy in your life, and be successful. That's why we take this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, and joy. I started on Marcus' show before, and Marcus was trying to help people. I went up to his office. I was in one office, and he was around another office. And people coming on, we trying to help them. All we trying to do is give people the wisdom and knowledge God has given us, where y'all can live a better and make better decisions. That's what we're here for. Thank you.
You said something interesting, Minister, that I had. Victims can have a force of appeal on the case?
Yeah. No. The mother can appeal the case. When the boy won, she go back after him. Yeah. He's liable. Okay, O.J. Simpson.
Okay.
When they found him guilty in the civil court, liable from this court, right? And took everything from him. So again, she can go after him for liable so she can open the case back up. Where they can see everything, you see what I'm saying? And have a chance for appeal. So it's a catch to it. So mother, please call me. I don't want that. Let me teach you by law. I know by law. I don't know nothing about else. I know by law. And I have a lot of lawyers that I put on the phone with me so we can talk to you and help you make the right decision. I'm talking to both mothers. Because both mothers are hurting. It's understandable. One unalive, that would hurt the most. And the other one, 17 to 25 years if we don't do something immediately, expeditiously. So, Marcus, you said some great things. They're good as Mark on TikTok. And this is Miss Karmelo, she older than me. I'm a little black boy. Name Jeremiah, slave name down about. How y'all doing? Y'all come on. Lord have mercy. There's about 300 people on this TikTok. Oh my God. What they love this conversation here. Let's tell you what you're saying, Mark. Just, we want justice. We say we want justice. Invite, first T-Mac, say our father-in-law, we look for justice for both. Rodney, John Dawn, J-Lo, J-A-T-O-U, I don't know what that is. I apologize, I can't call you that. The member, Fifth John, Wayne Fellowship. Okay. Okay. We need to find out what would we do with a field lawyer. Thank you. I explained it to you all along, sir. Okay, let's go up here. Debating the verdict of the high school stabbing case, join the discussion. Again, it's not a night. I'm like, okay. A lot of people, I can't read all of them. TikTok, more likes in the track. Thank you. We're trying to figure out what really happened. Christy, thank you, Sam, Michelle, Sal Dawn, I want justice, thank you. Everybody want justice. I'm glad we all agree straight to the point. It should not be a double standard. I ain't stop right there. Thank y'all.
Hey, I thought about something, Johnny. I just thought about something, man. Do y'all remember Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Kyle Rittenhouse, the dude, you know, he was running for his life. He had a pistol on him, a bunch of guns. I think he was ready for war, apparently. He had crossed state lines with a bunch of weapons. And nobody touched him, though. I think there was a lot of things happening. I don't remember the video, but in my mind, I feel like he was just running for his life and felt like something was going to happen. And he turned around and started shooting people. A lot of people, like more than one. But claimed self-defense. It was a national, political, racial flashpoint, kind of like this thing with Karmelo Anthony. But if y'all remember that, he was acquitted after the jury accepted the self-defense claims. You know, a lot of people was like, man, hey, man, this is like a similar Karmelo Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Because the self-defense standards, again, are not the same for everybody. It's like the bar is lowered and raised at different points in times, depending on where you're from.
Martin speaking, you couldn't say it no better. It's a double standard. That's what he's saying.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a double standard. Do me a favor, play that my mom was on. Mothers, play it and women are crying. It's about 2 minutes long, right from the mom. This for you, mother. It's for the mothers. I picked this myself first for all mothers. Come on, Ken.
Okay, this is Chosen and Crown.
Oh, here goes Teresa Wu.
Late night, city crowd, street light, glistening, rumble everywhere. Keep calm for the you don't move like the rest do. You don't speak just to shine. Every step got intention, every breath takes time. You allow me only close. There's coming the way you stay like you already know. You're a designer. Different, I can feel for movies. Everything about you real. My voice, steady hands, but you're wrapped in brown skin. It's fine, yes. Sure, it's the moonlight. Your face so clean. You ain't trying to impress me. Still cool this thing. When you talk, you come gentle, but it stay on my mind. We're sitting on your lips. I said, you rise, you feel so. You don't follow you around. You don't say so. That's your crown. Ain't nobody do like you. How you move, I don't need a light. I just need you. We see beauty on the surface, but I see deeper than skin. I see strength, I see whole. I see legacy. You a blessing. For your
I don't play Marcus. I don't play that. When I pick something, I pick. That's for the black mother, the mother of earth. All black comes to her. She is strongest in committing that, and she's the most smartest person on the planet Earth, the black one. Google it. It's a fact. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to play that. Mothers, that's for you all. My mother, that's your child, I love you. I love my husband, all of you. Please call us. See our number there, 281-896-8215. And help us help you so we can help you. And me and my lawyers get together and pick the right lawyer so you can be victorious and successful. Give you a greater chance. And that goes the same thing for you, my brother. Because you're facing 17 to 25 years before you ever get up to one. And in that race of city, they're going to always come up to the parole court and speak against you. They're going to do that. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show tonight. And we done said some great things. Marcus gave us a lot to think about. And we appreciate him. Mr. Marcus Biles, ladies and gentlemen, from Happy Hour. And Catherine from Over gave us a lot to think about. I see her over. And again, I'm just a servant of God. And I'm growing with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But this show is solution-based. This is the first time.
That was an interesting show. Let me go back to my other angle. I like my other angle. You know what I'm saying? Get back to my, you know what I'm saying? That was a very interesting show with Johnny Binder, man. Johnny Binder, one of my favorite people. He always speaking for the people, always making sure that, you know, people are being held accountable in different areas and stuff. So I always tell people, if you ain't speaking, you ain't leading, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be saying something. If you ain't speaking, you ain't leading. I wanted to do his show because he always asks me to come on and share my opinions and things like that on his show. But tonight I was like, man, I'm gonna do some things myself. I'm not gonna go live. And the first part of this live was his show, Johnny Binder's show. The second part is gonna be things that I've put together, just looking up different content, and things that are relevant to what's happening right now. So let's go and get started, man.
Carmelo County jury has just sentenced Karmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison for the murder of Austin Metcalf at Frisco track meet. More reaction from the trial and the emotional victim impact statements. This verdict sends a clear message. Violence like this won't be tolerated in our country.
RP to Austin Metcalf. You know what I'm saying? I want to start there, man. It's a kid that was at a track meet that lost his life. I want to say RIP to Austin Metcalf. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see nothing happen to nobody's kids, nobody's children.
And community. And we remain committed to protecting our schools and standing with victims and their families. Strong emotions outside the courtroom all day long as the verdict came down and the sentencing happened. Our crew saw and heard today.
Support. This is what support looks like, man. Sometimes you deal with a lot of these court cases by yourself with no cameras, no family, no friends, no social media followers. It's just you in the courtroom against the system. So shout out to the supporters that made it out there to Dallas-Fort Worth to go and support young Karmelo, as well as Austin Metcalf, man. You just need support no matter what it is you're going through.
The Karmelo County jury sentences Karmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison for the murder of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet in Frisco. Good evening, I'm here. It's 9 o'clock. This sentencing came just hours after the jury handed down a guilty verdict for murder. The trial began last week and jurors heard from coaches and high school students who witnessed Metcalf's death. The story also made international headlines, and many people locally have been sharing passionate opinions. Tonight, supporters of Anthony and Metcalf gathered outside the courthouse. Sometimes
35 years was the sentence. We all know that. Let's see what else they got. We'll see what they do. Okay, this is what I want to see, this press conference.
In this case, we're young. Even before the sentencing struck a deep today, justice was served. A year ago, when this senseless murder unfolded, I said it had struck a deep nerve in Collin County and far beyond. I asked our community to ignore all the noise and instead be level-headed and patient as the process worked. And today, the process delivered accountability. We're grateful to the jury, and we're grateful that the good citizens of Collin County had an opportunity to weigh in on this case. I'm proud of the exceptional work of Bill Worski and our team of prosecutors, DA investigators, and victim advocates, and all the good and outstanding men and women of the Collin County District Attorney's Office. We thank all the parents and their brave kids who did the right thing. Despite the trauma of witnessing the senseless murder at a school track meet, they cooperated fully and testified truthfully. Their courage was essential to securing justice in this case. I'm especially honored to be joined here today by Jeff and Megan Metcalf and their son Hunter. Their strength and grace through this has been unmatched. Their strength and grace throughout this unmatchable journey has been inspiring.
I want y'all to know that this lawyer, the attorney at the press conference, this is Greg Willis. He's an elected official. He's an elected official. He's the DA for Collin County. That's the county that includes cities like Frisco, Plano, McKinney, Texas, just outside of Dallas, maybe Fort Worth and stuff. He served as Collin County's district attorney since 2011 and previously served as a county judge. He is a graduate of Baylor University and the University of Virginia School of Law. In the Karmelo Anthony case, Greg Willis was significant because his office, they prosecuted the case on behalf of the state of Texas. As the district attorney, he oversees the felony prosecutions in Collin County and is ultimately responsible for the prosecution handling major criminal trials. Most of the time, DAs are too busy to be in every single trial day or every single court hearing, but I'm sure Mr. Williams made time because, again, he knows the family. I think this relationships matter, your network matters. You know, who you campaign with for, all those things matter. In the Karmelo Anthony case, again, I don't think he had anybody in the court system, in the courtroom that he knew, that he had on his squad, not even a jury. Remember, it wasn't a jury of his peers, it was just a jury. But
They won't be taking questions at this time, but their presence here speaks volumes about their commitment to seeking justice for Austin. I want to thank Judge Rhodes for presiding over this trial with fairness and efficiency. I want to thank Frisco PD for their investigation. I want to thank the Collin County Sheriff's Office led by Sheriff Skinner for providing the security for the courthouse.
y'all don't be afraid to come on too, man. I want to have some guests on tonight. We're going to be live streaming, man. This is one of them cases where I want to hear what you would do in this situation if you were in Karmelo Anthony's shoes and you got two big bosses approaching you. What would you do if you were in Austin's shoes and you had a time or a chance to do something different? What would you do? Y'all can join the show. I'm going to put the text line at the bottom of the screen here. Simply text DFA to 888-111. Tap into the show, man.
Sometimes quiet, Amelia, what have you been saying over?
Punishment phase, and she pleaded with the jury.
Now, again, 35 years is a lot. It's a long time. To be eligible for parole after half of the sentence. They said that the lawyers that he had didn't represent him well. Now, I wanted to introduce y'all to this lawyer that I just got introduced to.
Into a room in 1844, faced examiners who had never tested a black attorney before, passed anyway, and became the first black lawyer in American history. His name was Macon Balling Allen, and chances are you were never taught his story. According to records preserved by the Massachusetts Historical Society and the Library of Congress, Allen was born in 1816 and entered the legal profession at a time when most black Americans were denied opportunities that many others took for granted, yet he refused to accept the limits placed in front of him. In 1844, Allen applied for admission to the Maine bar. His first application was challenged over citizenship requirements. So instead of walking away, he took the examination route. Historical records reveal the examiners had never evaluated a black candidate before. Allen passed and became the first black man licensed to practice law in the United States. But the story didn't stop there. In 1845, he was admitted to the Massachusetts bar and became one of the first black attorneys known to argue a case before a jury in America. Then, in 1847, after passing another rigorous examination, he became the first black justice of the peace in Massachusetts and one of the earliest black judicial officials in American history. Yet despite breaking barriers that seemed impossible, his name rarely appears in textbooks. As Frederick Douglass once said, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and never will. Macon Balling Allen lived those words. He opened doors that countless others would later walk through, but history often celebrates the people who came after while forgetting the person who went first. So let me ask you this. Why do you think the first black lawyer in American history is still unknown to so many people today? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've never heard of Macon Balling Allen before today, share this video so people learn the name history tried to leave behind. Follow Black History Unfiltered for more stories they should have taught us in school. What if I told you black men?
Man, that's pretty cool, man. You know what I'm saying? More stories they should have taught us in school. Let me shut down my little tunes. Cut it down a little bit. Now, this is right here. I did my research for us. On the video here, it was like, hey, it was the first black lawyer, practicing attorney in the United States. And with Juneteenth being around the corner, I was like, man, let's go and look this boy up, man, and see who he is. And so I looked up Macon Bowling Alley. Macon Bowling Alley. That's what it said on the voiceover. Macon Bowling Alley. So I'm on here on ChatGPT. I start typing in Macon Bowling Alley, right? I was like MAKING, Macon Bowling Alley, BALLENALLEN. That was wrong. So don't type that in. That was wrong. It was like, are you referring to such and such? I'm like, no, referring to the lawyer, Macon Bowling Alley. So at the end, I found out that his name was spelled Macon, 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 Bowling, BOLLING Alley. Macon Bowling. He is historically significant because he is widely recognized as the first African American licensed lawyer in the United States. So shout out to Macon Bowling Alley. He was licensed, admitted to Maine bar, so the state of Maine in 1844. Maine is that state that's way up north that nobody ever thinks about. You never hear anybody talking about, hey, I'm about to take a trip to Maine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even met nobody from Maine, and I've been all over the U.S. I ain't never heard nobody say, I'm about to go to Maine. You know what I'm saying? Or I just came from Maine. It's just, you know what I'm saying, Maine? Ain't nobody go to Maine, man. So he later became one of the first judicial officers in the country and helped establish one of the first known Black-owned law firms in America. And I'm not saying this because Karmelo didn't have a Black lawyer. I'm just saying, like, this guy is historical, and somebody sent me this YouTube, right? And again, that's all I'm saying. First Black lawyer, admitted practice, 1844. Argued a couple cases. His achievements are especially remarkable because of the accomplishments. It was decades before the Civil War ended and before African Americans were recognized as full citizens under U.S. law. So he was reading when they didn't even want him to read. He was reading when they didn't even want him to read, man. He broke barriers that helped open the legal profession to future generations of Black attorneys and judges. So yeah, that's Macon Bowling Alley. I'm gonna say his name again so you'll know. Again, Juneteenth coming up, you get to share some of those facts. Juneteenth is for us. It's a big family reunion for everybody. So hopefully y'all doing something this Juneteenth celebrating with people that look like you. You know what I'm saying? Macon Bowling Alley, MACON Alley. Now, Karmelo Anthony, let's say the defense attorney. Karmelo Anthony's defense attorney. Mike Howard was his name. Mike Howard. Dallas-based criminal defense attorney took over Karmelo Anthony's defense team after the initial attorneys withdrew from the case, successfully argued to reduce Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250,000 before the trial. He led the self-defense strategy during that trial, arguing Anthony acted out of fear during a rapidly escalating confrontation. Now, even though Mike Howard was his defense attorney, a lot of people may not have known, but there was an original attorney. He didn't publicly disclose why he withdrew from the case, but there was an original attorney on Karmelo Anthony's case. I'm not sure when he withdrew, but the change appears to have been a transition in legal representation rather than a court finding or misconduct or incompetence. It was just somebody changed on a lawyer. So shortly after the case began attracting national attention, the Anthony family hired Dallas defense attorney Mike Howard, who became the lead counsel. Now, there are several reasons why lawyers withdraw from high-profile cases, right? You got client hires different counsel with more trial or some type of experience or whatever. Strategic disagreements between attorney and client, financial or fee-related issues, conflicts of interest. Attorney believes another lawyer is better suited for the next phase of the case. It could be anything, right? But again, you got different attorneys that took over prior to. So then you had Greg Willis. Greg Willis was the prosecutor. We just talked about him. Now the lead trial prosecutor was Bill, I can't pronounce it, Rursky. Senior prosecutor in the Collin County District Attorney's Office, delivered opening and closing statements. What this means is they didn't even get no lawyers, no outside lawyer. They got the DA, they got the best of the best criminal attorneys in the county It's wild. He's so the DA is elected. He's an elected official. So that's one person. Then in the district attorney's office, they got other prosecutors, right? They didn't just grab another prosecutor. They didn't just get a lawyer that just got a firm somewhere out there in the city. They got the senior prosecutor from the district attorney's office to be the lead trial prosecutor. And then you also had Greg Woods right there overseeing and making sure, which, you know, with a jury of peers that didn't look like him. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. R.I.P. Austin Metcalf. And we're going to pray for Karmelo as he goes through these trials and tribulations that he's going through. So I got a couple videos and I'm about to play to kind of update everybody, right, on how we got here. That's how we got here.
Same America. And we are tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, the kind of tired that lives in our chests, the kind that settles in your bones after decades of watching this country tell us over and over again that our children don't matter. What do you say when a jury watches a child get shot in the back on video and still says not guilty? What do you say when a Black teenager says, I was scared for my life, I was being jumped, and I was defending myself? And he's convicted while Kyle Rittenhouse crosses the state lines with a rifle, kills 2 people, and went home free. What do you even say? Cyrus Carmack Belton was 14 years old. He was running. The bullet entered his back. The jury watched it on video, and they still said not guilty. Karmelo Anthony said he was afraid. He claimed self-defense. That same claim that has freed so many others wasn't enough for him, because it never seems to be enough for a person claiming it's Black. And then I think about Trayvon Martin minding his own business, walking home, murdered in cold blood, and his clothes off free. And then I think back to George Stadium Jr., 14 years old, barely 5 feet tall, and under 100 pounds. The trial lasted 2 hours. His body was too small to fit in that electric chair. He was that skinny for a crime he didn't commit. And his conviction wasn't vacated until 2014. 7 years later, 17 years later. This is not history, this is a pattern from the electric chair to the courtroom from 1944 to 2026. This country has never stopped finding new ways to dispose of our boys. And as a mother of Black sons, that.
See what else I got in there, man. Now, in this video, it looked like this is young Karmelo walking right here, right, in this green. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I don't know what Centennial colors are or high school colors are, but if this is what it looked like that day, if this is an actual video from the day of, right, if this is what it truly looked like, man, I'd have been under the tent too. I'd have been under the tent too. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all just, if it looked like that and it's storming and it's pouring down rain, I'm under the tent as well. And nothing's gonna stop. I'm more afraid of what's gonna happen to me outside of the tent than what can happen on the inside. Until 2 big guys with muscles approach me. Then I'm more like, okay, the thunderstorm might not be that bad. You know what I'm saying? The lightning might strike. You know, what if they strike me one time and knock me out? What if they strike me and, you know, I don't get a chance to run my race? You know, what if he softly pushes me again and I run the read because he softly pushed me and I stumbled down the bleachers and I broke my fibula. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? My Achilles, my wrist. But again, if it was raining this bad, if this is what it looked like, I don't know if this is a real video, but if it is, right? Yeah, it's really raining. It's really raining. Now, I don't know if y'all ran track, but I wouldn't think that somebody could just tell me to get up about the tent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Now, here are the facts. Just a couple. Again, I talked about how students commonly mingled under other teams' tents. You know, that's a common thing. Karmelo saw his friend Edwin under another tent and went over to talk. Karmelo remained seated while Austin and Hunter were standing. Austin pushed Karmelo first before the confrontation escalated.
Do you see how
They
the
talked about the
counter?
witness testimony. Coach Joshua Whitman, he's an Army veteran. Shout out to all the veterans across the U.S. and defensive coordinator at Liberty High School. So he was a coach to push Hunter away so medical personnel could render aid because Hunter was holding onto his brother. Day 3 of the trial focused on heavily on the witness testimony, the coach expectations, things like that, the events inside the tent area. I think day 1 they played the video. They said it was a fuzzy video. I'm actually shocked that it wasn't more than just one video. If we only saw one, I'm sure a lot of evidence wasn't even showed or admitted, which is crazy in itself. So here's an eyewitness statement. And you ask me, you know what I'm saying, how this is an eyewitness statement.
Before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. He asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, move. He said, make me move. Also grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to look around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But
This is the part that I think they left out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
then I was like,
Let me go and start it over.
I'm not going to talk about it. There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. He asked him to move.
So there's this kid standing under our tent at track. We asked him to move 15 times. He didn't say that in the eyewitness statement. This, I think, immediately after the situation happened, interviewed the young man, and he was like emotional at the time. It was, you know, pouring his heart, telling the truth. You know, he just saw his brother get killed, which is crazy, crazy. R.I.P. to Austin Metcalf. So he's sitting here telling the truth, and they didn't even ask this young man to get on the stand. Why didn't they ask this young man to get on the stand? That's what I want to know. Why not give Karmelo Anthony the opportunity to get on the stand? Why not give anybody else who they gave to get on the stand? I think the trial was too swift. You know what I'm saying? I especially my life on the line, that's the most talk. We ain't gonna go adjourn or go to the back and start chopping up about how many years and lives and months and stuff I'm about to get. But again, the young man under the tent asked him to move 15 times. 15 times. And he ain't moving because you ain't in charge. You ain't the bleacher police. You're not the tent. You ain't tent duty.
Started getting aggressive and talking.
We asked him to move 15 times. Again, you forgot that part. If somebody asks you to do something once, most of y'all be like, hey, man, who you talking to? Who you talking to one time? Man, hey, you need to move. First time you hear, man, you need to move. You be like, man, who you talking to, man? This young man forgot to leave. He forgot to add that we asked him to move 15 times. So that means somebody asked this man to move 15 times, and not once did he say who you talking to until like the 15th to 14th to 13th time.
And my brother stepped in and said to move. He's like,
my brother stepped in. My brother stepped in. He started. We approached this young man and we asked him to move. He was in the tent, asked him 15 times, and he started talking reckless. So my brother stepped in. I don't even know why this wasn't. I'm not even a defense lawyer. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I remember hearing and seeing a year ago when everything first came out. That's why I was in tune with the case, trying to see how things were going to turn out, because I remember seeing this witness testimony, this eyewitness testimony from the brother. And when I heard it, I was like, shit, he telling you what happened. A couple people approached this young man, a couple big guys approached this young dude. And, you know, a lot of people was talking to move. You know, there was a lot of confrontation, a lot of words being thrown around. And then, you know, the big bro stepped in. Brother Austin stepped in. That's what he said.
They make me move on.
Make me move, and Austin grabbed his backpack, is what he said. We was having a conversation with Karmelo. We asked him to move 15 times. He ain't say nothing to. He wasn't even giving us the time of day. He was ignoring us until the 15th time. And then on 15, he was like, hey, to touch me again. But again, this is after Big Bro jumped in. Big Bro had to step in. Big Bro, you know what I'm saying, was like, I got this one. I got this one. Let me do it first. I got it. You got the last one. Let me get this one.
Also grabbed his backpack.
Austin grabbed his backpack. I don't know about y'all, man. Sometimes when I'm walking around with a backpack, I don't expect nobody to grab my backpack when I got it on my back. I don't expect nobody to grab my backpack when I got it in my hand. I don't expect nobody to grab my backpack when I got it on the ground. I just don't expect nobody to grab my backpack or softly touch me. But again, this is what happened. And this is why I was so in tune to this case, the situation. Again, RIP to the kid, Austin Metcalf. I'm sorry for the family, but I also remember the statements that was made right after this case became national. And this is one of the big points that I think should have been made during the case.
Kid, I tried to look around this fast, I didn't see the stab, but then I looked at my brother, and I'm gonna talk about the rest. So just that's what I saw. And I tried to help him.
Your mom told me that you were there.
That's it.
Again, I don't need to watch the rest of that, man. I'm sorry for that young man, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel really, really apologetic for him. Like, I got a brother. My brother been dead since 2015. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to lose somebody. But to lose somebody like that, I mean, wow. You know, my first cousin was killed in prison just last year. Nathaniel Guillory, his cellmate killed him in prison. He was asleep. He was laying in his cell. And when he woke up, he was getting stabbed in his face. I know that for a fact because I planned his funeral. I was there, you know, we had to put all type of makeup and stuff on his face to make him look presentable for the funeral. Because the cellmate stabbed him all in his face. They ain't stabbed him in his body and stuff. They stabbed him all at the top and stuff. So these are the type of things that happen in prison. It's not a place you want to go. And this is where Karmelo is headed for at least 7 years. So we're going to pray for his family as well, man. And this is one of those videos that went viral on Instagram. Right after this video went viral, though, they started, you know, diving into my man's history and stuff. And so this is why, you know, when you're a content creator, when you're doing something online, you got to make sure you ain't, you know what I'm saying, doing the most. I don't know what they said about this man, but I heard they were slandering his name because he came and spoke his point of view about what happened inside the courtroom day one of the trial. Let's see what he said.
Was it clear enough or was it fuzzy or what? No, it's pretty hard. Okay, it's clear enough where you see the actual rain come out. Okay, it's not clear. You actually see them walking up. You see that Karmelo was already up under there, you know, their mountain business. Not rain or? Yeah, it was still rain, you know. Right. So that day we were under 20 watt, warning, and we know we already had some light rain in and it started raining again in the local. Okay. So that's kind of what happened on that day. But they were at a rain delay already. And so during that time when that happened, the twins, their two buddies, and a few other people, there was a few kids involved with them. They were all coming from the direction of the middle school. Right. Right. On the video, you can see those four that actually was involved, and maybe about 3 or 4 others that was with them, skipping up, trying to catch up high. One veered off probably toward his way to go to the coach, kind of distract him a little bit. And then the other 4 came off and together one witness that went past. Right. The other 4 went and they surrounded him. You know, if we're going, they showed it on the video. It's on the video. Okay, come on. You can see a lot. I'm gonna say your stuff. I'll put this out.
they actually tell you when you're watching the video, pay attention to this corner right here, because if you look anywhere else, you might miss everything.
Okay.
So watch those four.
Now, if there is a video, just like in, I don't know, police cameras, right? We always want to see it. The public has a right to see it. It's just like with any other case, it's public. You should be able to see, read, comprehend how we got from point A to point B. But in this situation, I don't know if we'll ever see the footage of this this crime, this situation.
Right here,
Right.
exactly what they say.
Okay.
So you have no way to be confused that those four. So they come up, they surround them, and it's an immediate moment of not even a few seconds of pause, and that's when they jump. And so
they actually did jump.
Yeah, it wasn't just it wasn't just all that moment. Yeah, it was all kind of things. But Austin Bush, Hunter hit, and then everybody.
He said Austin pushed, Hunter hit, and then everybody started jumping. I mean, I got to see the video, man. Again, I don't know why he come on and create this video and come outside and go viral and say that somebody was pushing and hitting and, you know, people jumping and pulling backpacks and, you know, but we not gonna see the video. And I remember, again, this happened with Ahmaud Arbery. And when we saw the video, everything changed. Everything changed. Once we saw the video of Ahmaud Arbery, everything changed, man. Ahmaud Arbery, man, if y'all remember, it became one of the most significant criminal cases in recent U.S. history. It was race-related, self-defense claims, citizens arrest laws. It had a little bit of Trayvon Martin in there, you know what I'm saying, with the citizens arrest. It had a little bit of self-defense claims with, you know, with Karmelo Anthony, the public scrutiny, the justice system, you know. Who was Ahmaud Arbery? You remember Ahmaud Arbery was a 25-year-old black man who was jogging in a neighborhood near Brunswick, Georgia, on February 23rd, 2020. This is during COVID, y'all, or right before. He was pursued by 3 men who claimed they suspected him of burglary. During the confrontation, Arbery was shot and killed. Now, yep, Arbery was shot and killed. And yes, it was right before COVID. Man, this is historical right here. Understand this, y'all. Remember when Ahmaud Arbery, just thought about this, man. This is one of them moments in time. So anyway, Ahmaud Arbery was killed on February 3rd, 2020. And when it happened, it was because the defendants argued that they were attempting a citizen's arrest and that Travis McMichael acted in self-defense. Prosecutors argued that Arbery was unlawfully chased, trapped, and killed while simply running through the neighborhood. But what happened legally? Initially, no arrests were made. More than 2 months later, y'all, a cell phone video of the shooting became public. Initially, no arrests were made. They was just like, hey, man, he was over here stealing. He was in one of these houses. We was over here. We building houses over here. And this young man would be jogging through the neighborhood. He decided to stop at an abandoned house or a house that we are building currently. And, you know, last time somebody was here, they took our radio or something. You know, they took our screwdriver or something. And so, you know, since this man is in here and he's just in here just looking like everybody just go and look at houses that's being built in the neighborhoods. You know, sometimes it ain't like no crime scene where you can't go look at the builder or check out the builder. I had a conversation with her to even walk around the house as it's being built. But that's what Ahmaud Arbery was doing. He was running around the neighborhood. As he was running around the neighborhood, he saw a home, went, looked at the house being built, whatever, and then they started chasing my man. It was crazy. But initially, no arrests were made. More than 2 months later, a cell phone video of the shooting became public, sparking national outrage. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation then took over the case and arrested the defendants only because the video came out. They was gonna sweep it under the rug because COVID had happened. It was before COVID. The COVID lockdowns began in most of the United States. COVID-19 was already present globally, and news coverage about it was increasing, but the major U.S. shutdowns and school closures and stay-at-home orders and widespread restrictions and all that, it ain't begin until March 2020. Ahmaud Arbery was killed or shot and killed in February 2020. May 2020, that's when the video of the shooting gained national attention and arrests were made. And then May 2025, May 25th, 2020, that's when George Floyd was killed in Minnesota. So 2020 was a high year, man. And I just wanted to bring up Ahmaud Arbery because it kind of shows you that sometimes, you don't know everything. You don't until you see everything. And if we haven't seen the video, man, you know what I'm saying? Crazy. They later received life sentences, the defendants. They later received life sentences. We saw the video. They chased him down with a truck, shot him with a shotgun, all that. It was federal hate crime convictions, all that. And then they tried to appeal. Everything was upheld. The case was so influential because it was a national racial profile where, changes to Georgia's citizens' arrest laws, increased how local authorities handled the initial investigation, kind of like in the Karmelo situation, I think. And then it also gives you the whole self-defense claims. Give us talk about how jury evaluated, and then the race and public perception. So they talked about new video surveillance in Karmelo's case. Not him. Go to this next one. They have people talking about his original photo. They talk about his original photo. I don't know, you got AI, you got different ways to edit photos and graphics. And I don't know, it looks like on here they were showing some wounds or something and saying that he had different marks on his face from different situations or scuffles. But the pictures that they were showing that went viral and stuff were the ones that looked like he had that baby from that smooth face, like he had never went through anything. Like he didn't just get jumped and stuff. So I know sometimes it looks like you've been through something when you've been through something. Here's another witness from Karmelo's case. Let's see what he's talking about.
That I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the witnesses, for the students around the situation to see what happened, and this is what he had to say.
Trying to get back to their cars or
This is the witness.
and places where they wouldn't get all the wet. So dude was sitting up on the I was sitting up on the team, right? On his phone, right? My daughter was up on the same goddamn tent. Yeah.
He's talking about Karmelo.
I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So, dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent.
He's talking about the twins.
They intentionally went over there.
He's saying that the twins came from a whole nother tent. They wasn't even in the tent. They came from a whole nother tent. Like they had it on their mind. Like, hey man, this dude be in the tent. Let's go ahead and go get that boy out the tent, man.
And to this kid, man. Dude was sitting on his phone, just trying to get dry.
Karmelo was on his phone.
They grabbed this man.
Grabbed him.
They tried to punch on dude. Dude went.
Now, when you done made your way from one tent to the next, so you done made your way up a couple of bleachers to go check somebody, because that's basically what they saying. Karmelo didn't check in. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't supposed to be here, bro. We finna go. You need to move around. So when he went and did that from another tent, and you see them approaching you, yes, you're in fear for your life, man.
Yeah.
Then he talking about how they grabbed him and punched him. And if this was a true eyewitness, he definitely should have been on the stand. Again, I don't know if everybody that they could have put on the stand did go to the stand. If I'm Karmelo, I definitely want to go up there and
Look,
plead my case.
Trying to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened.
Mind you, this man does not know Karmelo.
It was both of them, bro. Austin, do this alive, and his brother.
Yeah.
Went over there to intentionally. He had to. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school leave.
Wasn't on school property.
You don't know if it's school property. When you had a school function, you still got to go by the code of conduct. You know what I'm saying? You had a school function, you got to go by the code of conduct. Or whether it's a dance, prom, track meet, whatever it is, it could be an away game. You know what I'm saying? It could be a tournament at another gym that's not on a college campus. You still got a high school campus or a grade school campus. You still got to go off the school rules.
I was away. It was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet.
Thank you.
Oh, he said it wasn't a school track meet. It was a community track meet. Well, I don't know. It had to be a school track meet because, again, Centennial and Memorial sound like schools to me.
Finally, Whitney.
See what else we got here. Coach Joshua. The coach hit the stand. One of them.
He performed CPR on Austin Metcalf, and he heard the 17-year-old take his last breath. Note.
Again, man, no cameras are allowed in the courtroom. That's why you see the little written, drawn up characters and stuff. Shout out to the coach, man. You know, a lot of people, they jump into situations. This is a coach that's a veteran, I believe. He's an Army veteran. So, you know, when something happens, he's not going to be the person balling up in the fetal position, looking and waiting on help. He's going to be the person up and ready to assist and assess. So shout out to him.
Cameras are in the courtroom, but a court sketch artist captured an abstract snapshot that shows Coach Joshua Redmond understands the photo of the jacket he told the jury he used to put pressure on Metcalf's wound. Lead prosecutor Bill Worski physically held the jacket, now stained with Metcalf's blood, for the jury to see up close.
It's a long trial. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns, but today, if you're that.
They always want to show the proof. You know, when you're in court, it's one thing to hear what happened, it's another thing to see what happened, you know. So when you show up with the weapon, you know, the bloody clothes, it really puts the jurors on the scene. It really puts the jurors in the shoes of the victim. It's like, oh, wow, you know, because nobody's used to be seeing bloody clothes and stuff like that before. Knives, they blood on there and I'd be, you know, so they got a chance to see everything with their own eyes in the courtroom versus us just hearing about what happened.
Ask me, I would say the prosecution scored some pretty big points.
One of the most powerful moments of Thursday's testimony was the 911 call made by fellow coach that day. The chaos and screams were heard in the background as the 911 dispatcher is instructing the coach on what to do until the EMTs arrived. You also hear Redmond in the background performing life-saving measures, pleading, "Stay with me, Austin. Stay with."
Again, shout out to the coach, man. Joshua Redmond, that's his name. Joshua Redmond, Army veteran, defensive coordinator for Liberty High School. Stay with me, Austin. Stay with me, Austin. Come on, Austin. Come on, Austin. Never give up, man. Like, I'm glad, again, he was trying to save that young man's life, man.
Me, Austin. And again, come on, Austin. Come on, Austin. Redmond is a former Army veteran. He testified that when Austin began gasping for air, his training kicked in, and he knew the outcome was grim.
It was incredibly powerful.
Man, I just want to start there because I'm a proud veteran myself, man. So I always, you know, want to salute those people that jump in when nobody else will. You know, people that just always know what to do when nobody else does. So I just want to just salute that boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because even though he wasn't successful with saving that young man's life, he still tried. And that's what it's about, man. It's about trying something, not watching.
Probably one of the most powerful moments I can recall in trials that I've of hearing something like that and listening to the reaction of the people around the young man that is losing his life right in front of their eyes.
Witnesses told police Metcalf and Anthony got into an argument when Anthony sat underneath the Memorial High School tent, Metcalf's school. Anthony was a student at Centennial High School. Robert Starr, a coach for Memorial, testified that school tents are similar to a team bench in other sports. And quote,
what he was saying during his testimony is that a school tent is similar to a team bench in sports. It's real disrespectful for a basketball player to go sit on another basketball team's bench, whether it's a timeout in the middle of the game, second half, whatever. Like, what you doing up there? Similar, but not quite. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more disrespectful on basketball court than it is at a track meet.
you just don't go into someone else's tent uninvited. Starr choked up several times on the stand when he described seeing Metcalf's face turn purple. He also told the court he prayed with Metcalf's twin brother.
They're very important to, painting that picture and making that story for the jury so they connect with it.
Jurors also heard from a video forensic analyst and saw multiple angles of surveillance video from the stadium. Anthony, now 19 years old, appeared to watch several angles of surveillance video that although...
Several angles of surveillance video. I want to see it. I can't wait to watch it.
Rainy when zoomed in, it shows the attack.
It shows the attack. It shows, why are people describing a soft push as when it was really an attack? I don't understand. It got to be a difference between a soft push and an attack. Attack. Those sound like fighting words right there. Attack. If somebody attacks me, I don't know. You should probably be in fear of your life if somebody looks like they want to attack you. But if somebody looks like they about to softly push you, you know what I'm saying? You might just give them the karate shot like I was saying earlier, just to hi-ya. But you not go, I don't know.
Anthony running away. Thursday morning, both sides laid out their case to the jury. The prosecution said Metcalf was stabbed in a sneak surprise attack, calling the act a senseless murder. Defense attorney...
No, murder. Manslaughter, yeah. Murder, no, it wasn't. That wasn't the intention. He didn't show up to the track meet with intentions on murdering someone. He showed up to the track meet with intentions on winning some races, getting some medals. You know what I'm saying? Getting some first places, some second places, some third places.
Attorney Mike Howard painted a different picture, saying Anthony, 17 at the time, acted out of fear for his safety. Said the stabbing was in self-defense. One thing Howard did not bring up was the knife Anthony brought with him, and that stood out to Shapiro.
Why did he have the knife? And I'm sure a lot of people are wondering the same thing, but it's interesting to me that he didn't mention anything about that during his opening statement.
The coach from Liberty High School told the jury he performed CPR on Austin Metcalf, and he heard the 17th.
See what else I got? Boy, Charles White, man. Y'all know Charles White, man. He's one of my favorite people, man. He is from Fort Worth. And he actually, I think, I didn't see the first video, but he was actually real hard on Karmelo initially. He was really like, hey, man, he get everything he deserved, and then shortly as time went on and video and conversations and comments and the trial started, Charles changed his tone a little bit. So let's see what he started standing on.
I want to take the time to apologize to Karmelo Anthony. Man, I already know about that kid. I already know about the kid. Yeah, he just started. I already know about that kid. I met with his father. I've been meeting with his father already, and I got to talk. Peace and love. He don't beat these charges. I was under the prison that he brought a knife to school, so I'm taking a knife to school. He didn't take a knife to school. He didn't even know these two white boys. These two white boys just came over. He was another kid and he was a white boy.
So here's a new black kid who eat big white boys. Big white boys. Here's a small frame kid. One of the white boys was on that side. One of the white boys on that side. So either way go, they had it locked in. And these are big white boys. These are some big, violent, aggressive white boys who got guns. All that. The one he killed, whooped their dad. See, the dad ain't coming into the picture playing like he been around. The dad ain't been around. We would think the black dad ain't around. The white dad ain't around. The mother don't even identify the dad as the hood. So one, he wasn't used to all. He ain't get the light. So he just come and get the light. He just come and get the light. So he'll go down dirty crowd. His sons are bullies. They put on the kid, they no, because the black gets up under the chin. Man, I ain't going nowhere. They got a reputation for beating up people. The one he had to style, he broke his dad's lips. Big old strong crowd. He should have killed both of them. He should have killed both of them couple moves. They don't bring home nobody. This kid ain't a bad kid. These bully white boys get fucked with the black baby. So now they're trying to make it about race. No, it ain't about race. Justice was served when he killed that guy. Self-defense. And the reason I say it is,
no, Charleston always got a strong opinion, man. Let's see what he said before, because I really don't remember. Let's see what Charleston White was saying prior to. See. Charleston White guilty. Oh, here we go. Shout out to Say Cheese. All the other platforms.
so let me just say, since I said that, I want to take the time to apologize to Karmelo Anthony. Man, I was all the way wrong about that kid.
No, I don't want to hear one where he's saying he was wrong. I want to hear the one where he was I said he will be innocent. I think it was a time where he was talking about he wasn't going to be. But again, shout out to Charleston White, man. He came back and apologized. Trial, things get hectic. Yep, we saw that. Life happens, the irony. Oh, here we go. Cornell.
In cold blood, he raised over $1 million. Wait a minute, the officer who killed Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million. So don't tell me that when black folks decide put money support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he had a right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically.
Do y'all remember the sit-ins and all that where it was like, hey, you can't sit here at the restaurant? Let me see. Sit-ins. I don't know if y'all remember the sit-ins, man. Make sure I got my camera. Now, what I remember most about these sit-ins is, you know, people were trying to make you move. No, they were trying to make you move, man. It was like, you're not supposed to be here. These when they used to like just like ask you, it was like, hey, you need to get up. I'm looking up some of the big national historic sit-ins, right? Like the Greensboro sit-in in 1960. So one of the most famous sit-ins began when 4 students from North Carolina A&T State University sat at a whites-only Woolworth's lunch counter in Greensboro, North Carolina. Their names were Ezell Blair Jr., David Richmond, Franklin McCain, and Joseph McNeil. The news coverage spread nationwide, and within months, thousands of students across the South were participating in similar demonstrations. Wow, talk about a protest. A way to protest Karmelo Anthony's situation would be, hey, at the next track meet or next year, people going to sit in other people's tents, but we don't want to do that, right? Because illegal, and you see what can transpire against the law to sit into somebody else's tent, even if you're protesting apparently. The Nashville sit-ins, students in Nashville. Notice the key component here. You know what I'm saying? Or students. It's always students when it comes to sit-ins. When it comes to other students trying to tell another student that they can't be where they at. You can't be on this campus learning with me. You can't go to school. The students in Nashville organized one of the most disciplined nonviolent campaigns of the movement. Key leaders included John Lewis, Diane Nash, James Bevel. Many participants were beaten, arrested, and harassed, but the protests eventually helped desegregate downtown Nashville. Another sit-in, creation of SNC, sit-in directly led to the formation of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee in 1960. And look, we always have to have these nonviolent coordinated committees. The Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee in 1960 would become one of the most influential organizations in freedom rides, the registration drives, the March on Washington, and the civil rights organizing throughout the South. Why was it such big news? It was on television, becoming widespread. TV was just being widespread at that time. Other major civil rights stories that dominated national news: Montgomery bus boycotts, when you sit down on the bus and they want you to get up and move. You sit down at a lunch counter and they want you to get up and move. Now we under tents with 100% chance of rain. They want you to get up and move, man. The sit-in showed that ordinary young people, many of them college students, could change national policy by peacefully challenging injustice. What started with 4 students sitting at a lunch counter became a movement to shape America. The sit-ins are similar, man. A lot of people are comparing the Karmelo Anthony self-defense to Carl Rittenhouse. You see Carl Rittenhouse, you know what I'm saying? In a town he wasn't a resident of, protesting. So Carl Rittenhouse was in a town that he was not a resident in, protesting. Karmelo Anthony, like a similar, was at a track meet he was supposed to be at, though. Both were 17. Rittenhouse was carrying a gun, federally outlawed until the age of 18. So the gun that Rittenhouse was carrying was federally outlawed at the age of 18. And Karmelo Anthony was carrying a knife. He was carrying a knife. Rittenhouse was attacked after warning attackers, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna might shoot you. I got that thing on me, man. I might shoot you. Karmelo Anthony was attacked. After warning attackers, he would defend himself if he was touched again. Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 people and injured 1. Karmelo Anthony killed 1 person. RP to Austin Metcalf. Rittenhouse raised $586,000 from conservatives for his legal defense. And the conservatives want legal defense funds shut down or legally garnished in the case of Karmelo Anthony. As line here says that Rittenhouse was acquitted on self-defense, while, of course, we know that Karmelo Anthony got 35 years. 35 years.
This is a no-win situation on either side. You know, you have a child that is not going to be here anymore. I read his family, and who's going through this situation with their son, it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I just tell people, like, we don't know all the facts. We don't know what was said, what was not said, because we weren't in that courtroom. So, the only great thing about this is, you know, I told the fence, you know, do the appeal, and they just,
So apparently somebody was arrested outside the courthouse after the verdict came out. Let's see what happened.
So, John, in terms of the sentencing, the time, or if we know if this is one of the attorneys, if anybody, okay, this is not one of the attorneys.
Continue with your case, you punk. A Texas jury found 19-year-old Karmelo Anthony guilty of murdering 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in April of 2025 during a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. He was just sentenced to 35 years in prison. And to lay this all out for you, due to the rain, there was bad weather, the track events were delayed that day, and Anthony, a Centennial High School student, sought shelter under a Memorial High School tent. Moments later, an argument broke out, and Anthony was asked repeatedly to leave that tent. One witness claimed that he responded by calling the group a name before Peters argued that the killing was a provoked and unjustified murder. They called.
Well, what this process did is show that black lives do not matter in Collin County. This trial showed that it put emotions over the law. After Trayvon Martin and so many countless names, it has shown us that black life is not safe in Collin County.
Minister Dominique Alexander is the man that you just heard from in that video. He is a spokesman for the Anthony family. Minister, it's nice to have you on. You keep saying that black lives don't matter, but no black lives were lost here. A 17-year-old white person was killed. So what are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is 35 years. Karmelo Anthony was sentenced to 35 years. But at the end of the day, Black America repeatedly is told that self-defense is a part of the law. That a knife under 5 inches is legal in the state of Texas. That stand your ground is legal here in the state of Texas. But when a black person tries to use those same basic rights and laws, then we're not afforded those things. We're doing those things unjustifiably.
Well, it's not what a jury found today. Can you tell me, I know you know Karmelo Anthony well, why did he bring a knife to a track meet?
I can't comment on that. What I can do, I can speak for Karmelo Anthony, but I can tell you that the state of Texas made it legal. So at the end of the day, if a person got a problem with it, they might need to call Governor Greg Abbott and tell him why does this state have open carry law, why does it have grass knuckles and etc.
Right? Stabbing somebody in the heart, though, sir, is totally not legal. You could have just turned around and walked out of that tent at any moment.
And based on what you have been told about the situation, I can see how you can take that fact. But the levels of injustice done in this trial is not how I was told, right? But at the end of the day, that's the reason why we're going to go through a full appeal process to ensure that the facts are being told correctly. But me and you are going to go back and forth.
No, that's fine. Tell me. Hey, I'm curious. Tell me what you think happened.
Well, what I think is the situation is that someone asked Karmelo Anthony to come over there. He knew an individual, but that's not being told, right? It's like, oh, a kid.
No, again, they're not highlighting that Karmelo Anthony knew some of the kids under the tent. They're making it sound like he was just under a tent that he wasn't supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying?
It just randomly went under a tent, right? And he just sitting there. No one knows who he is. That's the case, right? We know that Karmelo Anthony knew an individual. He knew a coach. He spoke about it. We also know that Frisco ISD should have counseled that. This wasn't just raining. We were under a tornado watch that day, right? And this should have been something that was actually.
Wait, you're telling me that because somebody invited him to the tent, there might have been a tornado warning, which happened all the time in Texas, that he was warranted in stabbing a 17-year-old kid in the chest, in the heart, and killing him?
That's not the case. But what you cannot do is put your hands on someone.
Well, you just told me that was the case. So, is that the case? Because I want to know what the case is. I seriously do.
But you time, probably under 10 or close or whatever it may be. Right? The reality is that the state of Texas says that I don't have to, when I'm assaulted, I don't have to return the same level of force, correct? Isn't that the law?
Yeah, he was asked to leave that tent multiple times, and the prosecution called 21 witnesses. Hold on. The prosecution called 21 witnesses, and they all corroborated that. They all said that he was asked to leave the tent.
They all didn't have no.
He was asked to leave the tent, so he could have left that tent at any time. He chose not to. That's why he's going to jail for 35 years.
21 of them did not have the same story. They did not have the same story, and that's why so many people outside of that courtroom is outraged.
21 witnesses, and none of them had the same story. Again, that's why Karmelo got to get on the stand and speak for himself, man. It's crazy.
Right now, if you look at anything about this case, all 21 of them did not have the same story.
Tell me about the defense witness, because the defense did not call Karmelo Anthony. Karmelo Anthony truly thought he was innocent. He's 19 years old. He's not a kid. He's 19 years old. Why didn't he take the stand in his own defense? And why did the defense's only witness change their story on the witness stand?
Karmelo Anthony testifying in his own trial is his own right? And that's a decision that Karmelo Anthony has to make, right? And that was a decision that was made through the legal process, right? And through this process, of course, there's going to have to be some major reviews, right? But as far as changing the witness changing what he changing his testimony, I'm trying to figure out how someone changed his testimony. Were you privy to his testimony prior to?
Well, he changed his testimony. He was, during cross-examination, he said that there was not an altercation under the tent, and he didn't witness an altercation. So I don't think that was something the defense was planning on. It clearly didn't play well for this 12-person jury. Let me just ask, can a black person ever just be convicted of killing a white person in this country without it becoming like a major race issue? Some of the comments that you made outside the courthouse today, I don't know why you do that. You stir things up, you make it about race, and that could lead to rioting and protests and looting tonight. The bottom line,
It's not about race, it's about right. Right and wrong. Right and wrong. I got my own personal court cases going on right now. I'm in a business dispute with business partners, and I just looked up. In the United States, people have been sentenced for brandishing, pointing, displaying, or threatening someone with a firearm, even when no shots were fired. The exact charge varies by state, but common offenses include aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, deadly conduct, menacing, brandishing a firearm, terroristic threat, unlawful display of firearm. And I'm looking this up for a reason, man, because I'm going through some stuff, man. I gotta see what the laws are, because I've already been through some stuff, and I'm trying to figure out why, charges not being pressed, why people not investigating. So examples, road rage incidents. Many drivers have received felony convictions after pointing a gun at another driver during an argument. Sentences can range from probation to several years in prison, depending on prior criminal history and whether children were present. Neighborhood disputes. People have been convicted for pulling a gun during arguments over property lines, noise complaints, parking spaces, homeowner association disputes. Even if the gun was fired, prosecutors often argue that the victim reasonably feared imminent serious bodily injury. I've been feared in my life a couple times recently, in fear of my life, fear of imminent serious bodily injury. Domestic arguments, pointing the firearm at a spouse, partner, or family member frequently results in aggravated assault charges. Business or storefront confrontations. This is what I want to read right here. Business or storefront confrontations. I'm a gun-toting business owner. You know what I'm talking about? Store owners, employees, or customers have been charged after displaying or aiming firearms during verbal disputes when prosecutors believe there was no immediate threat, just deadly force. In the past, I probably had my weapon on me, took my weapon off, put it down somewhere, and then went to fisticuffs. Probably done that, but I haven't done anything too crazy. Now, when I'm reading this, I'm thinking about a time that I was in the courthouse parking lot, and somebody, brandished a weapon on your board and stuff. So I'm trying to see what the laws and regulations, what the rules are. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what the rules are, man. Let's see what they're talking about. In Texas, the offense often falls under aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, deadly conduct, all that. So the conviction can be a felony, even if the gun is never fired, nobody is injured, and the confrontation lasts only a few seconds. So shout out to the Texas law. The court typically asks if the person reasonably believed deadly force was legally necessary, or were they using their firearm to intimidate, threaten, or escalate the verbal dispute. That distinction often determines whether the act is viewed as lawful, self-defense, or criminal offense. Typical sentencing range: state, facts, misdemeanor, felony. Now let's look up some of these cases where knives were involved. We'll be hopping off after this, man. I went live for a couple of hours. Been enjoying myself, reading on this history.
Three, we've seen some very dope.
So, legal commentators are comparing Karmelo Anthony case to a couple of cases that involve knives. Karmelo Anthony case and Austin Metcalf is a sudden argument or fight, a knife being produced during a confrontation, self-defense claim, a young defendant or a young victim, a debate over whether deadly force was justified. Michael Dunn, not a knife case, but often discussed because it involved a brief confrontation that escalated to deadly force and self-defense claim. The jury rejected the self-defense argument, and Dunn was George Zimmerman, Trayvon, right? Also not a knife case, but frequently referenced when it comes to self-defense. After a fatal encounter, Zimmerman was acquitted. Nicole Jenkins, another youth knife case. 17 knife cases across the country have involved arguments that escalated in seconds, from pushing the fight into a fatal stab. Of course, often focus on who started the confrontation, whether the defendant could safely retreat, whether the level of force was proportional. The closest factual comparisons are often local cases that never been national news. You know, it's a bunch of school fights where people get stabbed and stuff, where one student pulls out a knife after being punched or shoved, a sporting event altercation involving a concealed knife, or party or parking lot arguments that escalate unexpectedly. In many of these cases, defendants always argue that I was scared. He put his hands on me first. I thought I was about to be seriously hurt. The outcome usually depends on whether the jury believes the defendant reasonably feared death or seriously bodily injury, not merely that they were pushed or struck. Why commentators compare Karmelo Anthony more often to Rittenhouse and Zimmerman is because of that national decision centered around self-defense rather than just the knife itself. But when does fear justify the use of deadly force? That's my question to you, man. As we get off tonight, when does fear justify the use of deadly force? What do you have to be afraid of before you use deadly force? What has to be taken from you? Somebody take your life first before you use deadly force? Because you can't use deadly force after somebody take your life. Somebody gotta, punch you before you use deadly force. Somebody gotta stab you. Somebody gotta shoot you. Somebody gotta put you in an arm bar. I guess you gotta feel it. You gotta feel the pain before you can use deadly force. You gotta feel it in your chest. In Karmelo Anthony's case, prosecutors argued the statement was not legally justified, while the defense argued he acted in self-defense after being physically confronted. The jury ultimately convicted him of murder and he was sentenced to 35 years. Before we go tonight, I want to make sure y'all get a couple of invites. I'll be at the Bloom Fest on Saturday. This Saturday, I'll be at the Bloom Fest with boy Marcus Bowers, man. I'll be on stage at the Bloom Fest. I'll be one of the speakers, special guest. I'm excited. Shout out to Dr. Connie Stewart. The Bloom Fest is it's the premier experience for coaches, speakers, and faith-based entrepreneurs. If you're ready to grow, connect, and walk boldly in your calling, then that's where you need to be. Bloom Fest is happening in Houston, Texas, our be one of the speakers. I'm excited. Early bird registration has been open for quite some time, and we're just a couple days away from the actual event. We got VIP experience, general admission. The event goes from, it starts on Thursday. You got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Full 4 days worth of events. And again, I'll be part of day 2 of Bloomfest that Saturday. Shout out to everybody. Can't wait to see you guys. Yeah, Bloomfest. Where my phone at? We got Bloomfest. What else we got? I know it's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth. A lot of things happening this Juneteenth. I want to invite you guys out to the power lunch that we got coming up. We're back Wall Street. Got the powers coming in. The power lunch, that's where you want to be. You know, join us at our featured Black-owned business. We'll be at Mickey Soul Food. Just last month, we was at the Breakfast Club with Marcus Davis, the Marcus Davis at the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? Was at the Cat right there in the back. Got a chance to use the venue, support the business, eat some of the good chicken and waffles. You feel me? The service was amazing. The food was great. And so we're going to do the same thing at Soul Food in 3rd Ward. A lot of y'all don't know that Mickey's got a new location right in the heart of Houston. It's in 3rd Ward, man. It's in the tray. I don't know if y'all do 3rd Ward like this or like this, but you know what I'm saying? It's there. That's where it's at. It's in the tray, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you get a chance to come to the actual power lunch, you'll see that it's going to be a bunch of entrepreneurs, bunch of business owners, bunch of creators, bunch of business leaders all under one roof. You can join us by texting the word power to 8811. Join us. So come through, bring your laptop with you. We'll be talking about AI, software tools you can use, automations, everything. You know, networking, you get a chance to move your brand or business forward. I think everybody should be in attendance. And you also want to give Black Wall Street a follow, man. Let me go to Black Wall Street real quick. I want to shout out my people. Give Black Wall Street a follow on social media. We're trying to get our followers up. You can see we're at 948,000 followers on Instagram and counting. Now, if you want to learn how to make some money online, give us a follow. Come through. Bring somebody with you, right? But if not, then, you know, this ain't the community for you because we're changing lives over here. We've been teaching and leading for quite some time, and so we want to continue growing this community because we're not just here to talk about what's happening. We're here to change what's happening. You can be part of the change, man. Tap in with us. Follow Black Wall Street on everything, please. We got the Her Juneteenth event coming up. Yep, Her Juneteenth. This Juneteenth, there's 19 days of Juneteenth. So from June 1st to June 19th, they had events happening all throughout the city of Houston. What day we on? We're on June 10th. Oh, so today, dang, I missed it. The El Dorado Ballroom, that was June 9th. That would have been an amazing time to be in the building. Shout out to the Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce. They had a network and nourish luncheon at the El Dorado Ballroom. That's also in 3rd Ward, 2310 Elgin Street. Tomorrow, there's a creative writing and college lab contest that's happening. 11th, they got some stuff going on. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then on June 19th, they got on Alameda, powered by Southern Brand and 3rd Ward Third Ward Cultural District from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. They got something kicking off at Peggy Park. That's 4101 Alameda Road. That's Black Wall Street Boulevard in Houston, Texas, if y'all don't know that. The reunion at Emancipation Park, powered by Emancipation Park Conservancy. It's the 3018 Emancipation Avenue. That's the big park that's right there in Houston, Texas. Emancipation Park. It used to be off Dowling Boulevard. It's now called Emancipation Boulevard. We'll be there. Black Wall Street will have a booth there. You can come through, sign up, join the community in real time, or click the link in the bio and become a committee member. And then on June 20th, there's a Black Houston bus tour. Starts at 8 a.m. So it's a lot going on in the city. Let me go to Eventbrite before I leave. Got to talk about her Juneteenth. Let's see. Shout out to Girl Boss Sweets. Tierra and them over there doing some amazing things. We did her Juneteenth, the first one at least last year. Amazing event. We're doing it again. We get a chance to tell people what Juneteenth means to us and why we're celebrating. We have panels, speed mentoring, vendors, live podcasts, and fireside chat, food, information. All we need is you. It's happening June 19th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the CCN. CCN Network, man. We love doing events over there. Now, this particular event is going to be full of a lot of different speakers. You got Edward Powers, Jeremiah Davis, Miss Pitcher, Jamal Fontenot, Cameron B, my boy Andre Nunes. What's up, Precious? She'll be a speaker. You got Miss Jasmine. Hey, Jazz. You got Miss Marsha. What's up, Miss Marsha? We got a lot going on. And look, last year it was lit. It was lit. We had a lot of impactful information. The stage was nice. Had a lot of people that came through. We even had giveaways. Yeah, we had giveaways, man. So many people gonna be in the building at her Juneteenth. So many people. What's up, Destiny? Tierra. Happy early Juneteenth. Peace out.